What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrubby here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And today I've got a story time for y'all from back in the day when I was skating with my friends and this very angry man started yelling at us because apparently skating is just the worst thing that has ever been done in front of anyone. My goodness, how dare we ride skateboards in public? Either way, it culminated in him basically saying that he was going to call his son, who was older than us, to come beat us up. And I just thought it was a funny story I hadn't shared yet, so why not turn it into a video? So without further ado, let's go. Alright, so by one of my friend's house that I grew up with, there was this park that had some stairs near the playground, not literally leading to the playground, but like in the general vicinity. If you were at the playground, you could see the stairs. And the stairs happened to have like a perfect height rail. They were themselves had a good run up and run off. So whenever we were at my friend's house, we would go to the park and just skate it. And we would be very careful to like not be swearing a bunch in front of the park. We would obviously stop if people needed the stairs. And if the park was really crowded, usually we just wouldn't go because we just didn't want it to become an issue. And listen, there wouldn't have been an issue. What I'm trying to say is that we were going above and beyond to make sure that we were not in anyone's way. One day we got to the park in the morning. We had all spent the night at my friend's house the night before. So we get there and the park's pretty empty. So we start skating. And as we're skating in the park in the morning, there's like groups of people walking around the park and we're saying hi, good morning when people walk by. Just because we didn't want to be like, we didn't want to get in trouble. We knew technically we weren't supposed to be skating there, so we weren't going to go out of our way to be causing all these problems. But we see this group of old men walking towards us. And as they walk by, they say something along the lines of like, oh, I wish I would have had a skateboard when I was young. So we laugh, say good morning, and they kind of stand there for a bit. We're talking about like, I don't know, how the skateboard works. The old things, like just old people, small talk conversation, and they're watching for a bit. One of my friends did a trick down the stairs. They thought that was cool. And after that, they said they were going to keep walking, so they walked away. And me and all my friends were like, all right, they were nice enough. Nothing weird happened. That was all chill. We completely forgot about it. But I happened to just be like looking up and they were still in my peripheral vision. And I see this guy in a red tracksuit join their group a little bit later and I can see them talking. And then the rest of the group points at us and I'm like, oh, they're saying that, we just watched those kids skate. They were cool. No big deal. And instantly the guy in the red tracksuit kind of waves his arms angrily, not at us, but like he's talking very impassioned. You know when someone talks with their hands and they're getting angry? That's the vibe. And so I'm kind of just keeping an eye on it because I don't know why he's mad. All I know is they pointed at us and he was mad, but they keep walking away from us. So we keep skating, and after a bit, I forget about the old dudes, but I guess they parked at the other end of the park, and the guy in the red tracksuit didn't. Because when the guy in the red tracksuit comes back around, all of his friends are gone. I don't see them anywhere in the park, and it's just him. And he walks past where we're skating on this little stair set, and he just stops in front of the stairs. And me and my friends are just kind of sitting there looking at him, and we're not giving him dirty looks. We're not like giving him the you gotta get out of here stare. We're literally just kind of looking at him because he's standing in front of the stairs we're skating, and like we were just gonna let him walk by. Even if he stopped for a second in front of the stairs, we don't really care. We're not gonna be like, get out of here, old man. It's just not that big of a deal. But he's standing there for an incredibly long time, like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And one of my friends asks him why he's standing there in the nicest way I've ever heard anyone ask a question before in my life. Excuse me, sir, do you mind if I ask you a question? And the old man looks at him and goes, eh. And he's like, why are you standing in front of the stairs? I'm not trying to be rude, but we're trying to like skate here. Do you mind if you step a couple feet over? Which is not rude at all. He's not trying to be mean. He's not being disrespectful. He's just being like, hey, me and my friends are trying to use this. Can you please move 2 feet? And the old man, oh my goodness, you would have thought that my friend asked him to move because he didn't have much time left on this earth to move anyways. Like just some super insulting thing, because he starts going off on us about how all young kids today are the same and, we just don't respect our elders and we have no clue what his generation did for us. And we're confused because we have no clue where he's coming from with this. Like, none of us said anything about him. None of us are disrespecting him. Well, he didn't say he didn't do anything for the country. We're just, like, standing here. And so my friend, who was trying to be polite, tries to calm him down and goes, sir, no one's trying to disrespect you. You don't have to move. We were just asking. And he's like, yeah, I don't have to move because this is America and I can stand where I want. And at this point, we're all just kind of like, all right, man, whatever. And there was another stair like 20 feet away. So I say out loud, look, let's just go skate at those stairs. And I guess the old man had a huge problem with us going to different stairs because he looks at me and says, if you guys go to those stairs, then I'm just going to go stand at the bottom of those ones. And listen, I'm not trying to spend my day arguing with an old man, but at this point, I just wanted to know, like, why? Like, why are you so mad? So I asked him, like, okay, well, why are you going to do that? You just said you wanted to stand here. We're not going to fight with you. We don't want to argue. We will just go to the other stairs. Like, why are you going to follow us if we're trying to leave? And he gives us another rant about how, like, kids don't respect their elders and whatnot. And clearly I didn't respect my elders with the way I'm talking to him. And I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, but at the same time, even if I was, you're not being respectful of me. I hate this idea that I just have to, like, bend over and just bow and kiss the feet of anyone that's even 2 days older than me. If you want respect, then, like, obviously I'll respect you if you're being respectful. I'm never gonna just run around here being mean to old people. That makes no sense. Old people, for the most part, are super chill. But just because you're older than me, you come up to me and start insulting me and, like, just being a jerk. I'm not gonna be like, oh, sir, please, trample my rights harder. Not that it's a right to be skating in the park. You guys get what I'm saying, though. Like, I wasn't going to be kissing his butt like my friend was. So I was just like, dude, like, what's your issue? Come on. We didn't have anything to do with disrespecting you. You came up to us. In his response to me saying we weren't respecting you, you came up to us, which is a true statement, was like, you want to try to get smart with me? And at this point, I was trying to get smart with him, I'm not gonna lie. But I said, I'm not trying to get smart with you, I'm just not understanding how you're so old and make so little sense. And that's not the nicest thing I could have said. In retrospect, was it smart? Probably not. But, you know, I was a teenager at the time, I was kind of dumb. I was trying to be a smart aleck, so I just said it. And listen, even though it was rude, it was not like I threatened to fight the guy. It's not like I was like, you suck. All I literally said was, you're too old to make too little sense, which in the grand schemes of how people argue is insanely tame. And his response was just to go straight to violence. He's like, if you keep running your mouth like that, I'm gonna smack you. And I'll call my son down here to beat you up too. And at that point, I wasn't trying to get into a fight with the old guy. And I said, look, I'm not gonna fight you, dude. Like, I'm just not gonna fight you. You can hit me with your cane. We'll just leave. But even if you were to call your son down here, I'm pretty sure your son's an adult. We're not adults, so your son would be the one getting in trouble. I'm not trying to escalate it. I don't want to fight him. I'm just trying to point out that, like, all right, man, go ahead and call your son. We're not trying to fight you. But even if your 45-year-old son comes down here, he can't just punch us in the face and then go to breakfast. But then it was as if I, like, questioned his son's skills, because then he starts just going off about how his son could really beat me up, which I didn't even deny. He's an adult. I feel like an adult should be able to beat up a kid. You shouldn't, but you should be able to. Like, what? The guy's gonna show up, be 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, punch 15-year-old me in the face, and I'm just gonna take it on the chin, all chill? Nah, it's all good. Probably not. But he starts going off how his son is strong and cooler than us and has a good paying job. And at that point, a couple of my friends are like trying to argue back too, just to try to diffuse the situation and get him to leave. They're like, bro, we don't care about your son. Just please leave us alone, please. And he starts saying that he's going to call his son right now, and he's going to call his son down here to beat us up, and we're like, all right, man, we're just going to go. This guy's not going to leave us alone. It's too early to be dealing with this, so we start just grabbing our stuff to leave. And he walks up to one of my friend's backpacks and grabs it and says, you guys can't leave, my son's on his way. And we're like, yeah, we don't really care that your son's on his way, we're gonna leave. And he says, no, you can't leave. And I've got my stuff, we all have our stuff, and my friend's stuff is in his hand. And he just goes, listen, give me my stuff or I'm gonna call the police. And the old guy's like, you're gonna call the cops? My son's on the way. All right, and? What do you think, the police just don't exist because your son's here? We're gonna call 911, not that we would have. An old man is stealing our stuff and refusing to let us leave. Like, you know, we're basically arrested by this dude. We don't want to have to get our stuff from him because we're probably gonna hurt him. So can you please come help us get the stuff back? We weren't trying to hurt him, but like, okay, if 3 dudes try to grab a backpack from an old man, the chances of him getting hurt are escalated. It's not like elderly people are known for their durability. So my friend's plan was the only way to get my stuff back is to have someone come get it, because I'm not going to grab it out of his hands. We did not want a problem, bro. We literally were like, fine, you can hold on to the stuff. We're not gonna get into this with you. And then he starts going off on some weird side tangent about how he doesn't care. He's called his son. Go ahead and call the cops. He's not afraid of us because his son is a god who could beat us all up. And we're kind of like, a god? Your son's a god that's gonna come beat us up? Listen, I don't think your son is a god. And if he was, wouldn't he have way more important stuff to do than come to the park and fight someone that his dad doesn't like skating on the stairs? It's not like he's on his way to come save his dad because a group of skaters started messing with him. It's the exact opposite. But whatever, my friend just keeps talking to him, being like, give me the bag, give me the bag, give me the bag. Finally, this car pulls up. This guy gets out and starts walking over to us. And he's just the definition of a middle-aged man. No insults to middle-aged man, but the dude's bald. He's got a little bit of a beer belly, and he walks up to us and he goes, my dad called, like, what's the issue? And my friend, whose bag is still in the hands of the old man, just starts to tell him everything that's gone down, being like, look, we were just skating. He came over and stood there. We said, why are you standing there? Next thing we know, you're a god that's on your way to beat us all up, and he won't give me my stuff back. And the guy, I just probably couldn't have been the first time this happened. I don't even know how to explain it. He just got this look on his face and like shook his head, looked at his dad and was like, Dad, give them their stuff back. And he's like, no, they're not allowed to skate at the park. And he's like, Dad, these kids are literally up to nothing bad. Just give them their stuff. They'll leave. And he's like, I wanted you to come down here and teach them a lesson. And listen, I'm not saying that we were trying to have an issue, but hypothetically, if this dude's son would have showed up and tried to fight us, there's like 4 of us, and the guy's not in great shape. He's built a little bit more like the Pillsbury Doughboy than a wrestler. Probably wouldn't have been able to teach us a lesson anyways. Like, we didn't want to fight, but I don't like my chances versus 5 people in any circumstances, especially not if I'm 40 and got the Homer Simpson's bod rocking. But the son's like, Dad, just leave him alone. Come on, we're gonna go home. And the dad's looking at us pissed, and he's like, you're lucky my son's not in the mood for a fight today. And we're like, yeah, okay, we're really lucky your son's not in the mood for a fight. We're just gonna go. And we start walking away, and they start walking away, and then we start like hearing things landing, and we turn back, and the grandpa is like throwing rocks at us. And so my friend goes, stop throwing rocks at us. And his son turns around and he just must not have been paying attention because he goes, Dad, stop throwing rocks at them. And he's like, not until they leave. And at that point, we were laughing. Like, it's not a funny situation. The guy shouldn't be rolling around throwing rocks at people. But come on, he was just hell-bent on getting into an argument that morning at the park. We happened to be in the way. I just love that he thought his son was going to show up and just start beating the crap out of all these kids in the park. Like, that probably would have gotten him in a lot more trouble. 911, what's your emergency? Yeah, there's a guy just beating the crap out of 4 kids that were skating at the park. Can you send backup? Either way, if his son was a god, which is what he said, I'm a little bit confused, looking a lot more like Thor in Endgame than what I would have expected. I don't really know what I expected. I just, like, in my mind, if someone's like a Greek god, I just imagine like the like ripped Zeus throwing lightning bolts. I don't expect Dan the accountant, but hey, I'm not in charge of the universe. Maybe that's what they're rolling with. Anyways, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. I know this was a shorter one. I just thought it would be funny, something y'all would enjoy. If you did, be sure to press the like button. Let me know in the comments section down below what you thought. And of course, subscribe if you're new and turn on those notifications. If you guys haven't commented yet, just go ahead and comment the word skateboard down below. It really does help the video do better, and I'd appreciate it. Other than that, if you like the story times, but you want to listen offline without gameplay, whatever floats your boat, I post the audio on Spotify. Feel free to go check it out. Link down below. And I also made a playlist of some of my favorite story times of the year so far. You can also find that down in the description, so check that out if you haven't already. And yeah, on that note, guys, that'll do it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'm out. Peace.